how do you feel about electrolyte powders? It's kind of a little bit of the rage right now. I'd say I just had a friend that reached out. He's like, hey, what's your favorite electrolyte powder? And I told him good water, a little bit of Himalayan sea salt, and squeeze a lemon in there for all the other vitamins. And I was like, and that's a great start. Don't just jump in. But I want to hear from you. That was just my opinion. What is your opinion of electrolytes?
Yeah, I think, that's always a great kind of free option to do. A lot of these electrolyte powders are generally higher in magnesium, which you can't get. And, the amount of magnesium you're going to get in Himalayan salt or sea salt is pretty minuscule. Yep. But if you have a powder, you're going to get high levels of magnesium. You're going to get high levels of potassium and phosphorus, which is great too. I mean, it has all these other hosts of other benefits. But if you're just talking about replenishing electrolytes that you've lost through sweat, those powders necessarily aren't. I wouldn't say that they're 100% necessary. I think they're great for all these other things you want benefits for. But if it's just to kind of replenish lost water, I don't know that they're that necessary. It also depends on the quality too. A lot of them have other junk in them. They're super processed. They come from weird places. So you have to make sure you're finding a good company, good, reliable company. We use here at the clinic, we use really high quality brands, Pure Prescriptions, Genestra, Thorne. These are all brands that we've tested that are really high quality. So I would go with that than something just kind of like off the street or something at a bodega or something. But
yeah, you're not telling them to have 5-hour energies and monster drinks, right?
No, those aren't great for a lot of reasons. A lot of those have really high in caffeine too, and that can throw off. Caffeine's a whole separate other issue, but they're also got food coloring and other chemicals and things, so they're not.
Let's go into that for a second. What about caffeine in the heat? I see a lot of people now switching over to iced coffees in the morning, but like chugging them down, right? Yeah. Because it's cold and you just slurp it with the straw, right? And you're getting more caffeine that way, I believe. I don't do iced coffees. I like it still hot, but talk about that.
Yeah, so caffeine is a diuretic, meaning it forces your kidneys to excrete water. And so the same goes for alcohol. They're both diuretics, so that you're losing a lot of water and electrolytes when you're drinking caffeine and alcohol. So it just adds to the burden. If you're super hot, you're losing more water. It feels like you're getting refreshed because you're drinking something cold. But ultimately what it's doing is causing more loss of water, more loss of electrolytes. So if you're going to be doing caffeine or alcohol, I would double up or include, whatever ounces you're having of that caffeine or alcoholic beverage. I would double that and then include on top of that the original base of water intake you need throughout the day. I would even do maybe like a 2-to-1. Like let's say you have 8 ounces of coffee, I would say add another 2 8 ounces or 16 ounces to offset that coffee, in addition to any alcohol that you're drinking. Yeah, so not the best ideas during a heat wave, although that's kind of what we think too. If you think about iced coffee and margaritas, it's hot out. That's what we want, but that's not the best idea in terms of hydration, keeping the body hydrated and full of electrolytes that it needs.
Yeah. And now if you go back to the mineral side of things, if you were to say, hey, could I just keep drinking my regular Poland Spring and take mineral supplementation? What would I be looking at? What should I be looking to supplement with minerals?
So the main mineral actually is sodium. So, sodium and chloride are the two main electrolytes your body needs. Basically, every cell to conduct electricity, to conduct polarization of the cell membrane. So those are the big ones. And then magnesium, potassium, phosphorus. Those are come second in line to that. So those mineral capsules, mineral supplements, if they've got a good balance of all those, those are great. And just drinking, I wouldn't say, I would avoid anything in plastic bottles, just because plastic's a whole other issue, especially in the heat. Anything that's left in the heat, especially in plastic, the plastic is gonna potentially melt a little bit and get absorbed into the water. So all the BPA and all the nasty stuff that you wouldn't want for plastics is gonna be higher in water that's been left out in the sun or the heat. So I would stay away from plastics generally, but definitely in a heat wave and when it's hot out, you want to stay away from anything in any water and plastics.
It's one of the reasons I always go to Gerolsteiner, and Aquapana still does them in glass. And you could still buy them that way. But I agree with you. So many people don't realize once you start to heat that, it's volatile. It's giving off some, right? It's going into it. You have obesity.
You can even if you've had like water that's been out in the car for
gross.
It's disgusting because that's all the plastic chemicals you're tasting in it.
Yeah, you're tasting half that bottle is disintegrated into that. So it's like a medley of water and plastics, which is disgusting when you have it.